For years, Mohammed Hijazi dug people out of collapsed buildings after bombing raids by the Syria armed forces and their Russian allies. On February 6, he woke up to a different disaster. A powerful earthquake, whose epicenter was across the border in southern Turkey, leveled neighborhoods across the opposition-controlled northwest of Syria. He pulled bodies from rubble and saved others, but Muhammad tells us how a story of hope can quickly turn into tragedy.
We saw a child's hair in the rubble. We wanted to reach her. We used our hand to remove the debris until we found her with her mother, who was holding her. They were both dead. There's also a dead man close to them. Then my colleague heard a faint voice under the bodies. There was a child crying. She was saying, "I'm here."
That voice was of 9-year-old Anwar. She was still alive, more than 40 hours since the initial earthquake. Civil defense volunteers used their hands to dig because they didn't have sophisticated equipment to reach survivors quickly.
When we heard the voice, we were overwhelmed with joy, especially since we were only removing bodies. I spoke to her for almost 2 hours.
Her father, Ahmad Mohammed Ahmad, was also hopeful that at least one member of his family was still alive. He wasn't in his village when the earthquake struck. People in this corner of Syria know tragedy all too well. It's home to millions who are no strangers to death, destruction, and displacement.
When I arrived here on Tuesday night, I saw our building on the ground. My whole family was under the rubble, until I heard the faint voice of Anwar. When I heard her, I had so much hope, but that changed when they told me she didn't survive.
Anwar was still breathing when Mohammed removed her from the debris. They tried to save her life, but the 9-year-old didn't make it to hospital.
I still remember how scared she was, how she cried. I tried to keep her calm, but she kept holding my hand, asking me not to let the roof crush her.
Mohammed had to give her lifeless body, wrapped in a blanket, to her father. Since that day, he says, he can still feel the touch of Anwar's hand. Zeina, Khodr, Jazeera.